Okay, now we're going to take a look at Photoshop, and for Photoshop I decided, hey, I'll do a quick little texture to create a crate. So the first thing I did was I went over to Google and I Googled some wood textures, and I found this texture. So I brought it into Photoshop. So I'm going to double click on the layer so I can rename it so I can work on it. If you're in Photoshop and the layer is called background, you can't really do very much with that layer. So the next thing we need to do is square this off, because I'm going to make a crate that is a cube. So you could do several things. You could resize the complete image. You can come over and grab your little tool, what do they call this, rectangle marquee, and create a perfect square by clicking and dragging and holding the Shift key. Once a square is created, you can move it around using your arrow keys and fit it exactly where you want it to be. And I think I really like this weathered wood look at the very bottom. So I'm going to try to get that one in there. Maybe even go to the very, well, no, we'll go right over here. Let's see here. About right there. You know, it's just a quick judge thing. You just kind of got to look at it and judge for yourself. Now you can crop this now. You can do this by double clicking the crop tool, you know, and your image is now cropped. Or you could have gone up to image, crop, and that would have done that as well. Now for me, my crate, I'm hoping the wood grain goes the opposite way. So I'm going to do a Control T on the keyboard to select the transfer tool, right click, rotate. You can either go clockwise or counterclockwise. I kind of like the weathered on the bottom, because you know, when you think about it, you know, things come down, the sun comes on it and starts weathering and eating it up that way. So once you have your transform done, you select enter, and we'll just take the little tool here. Now I have to create the borders. You know, when you have a crate, usually you have something that runs along the edge here. And because I didn't line this up really that good, we can manipulate the texture and make the wood grains more pronounced and even. So I'm going to do another Control T, and I'm just going to lift this one up until it's about, very similar to the bottom. I think there's a shadow at the bottom. And select enter. I'm kind of liking that. Looks pretty good. Good enough for what we're doing, right? So now I'm going to actually take the rectangle marquee tool again and choose one of these boards right here. I'm not really sure which one to choose to make it look exactly like I want. So I'm going to go with this one, and I'm going to select as best I can that piece of wood inside of there. Now that I have that wood, I'm going to go up to Layer, New, Layer via Copy, or you could do a Control J, and a Control J would have placed it right on there. Once again, Control T, rotate 90 degrees, come up here, and we're going to place it on the edge. Not too shabby, looks pretty good. I'm going to move it over just slightly. Looks like kind of the edge is showing a little something I don't want it to. I'm going to take this lasso tool, and I'm going to go ahead and do a polygon. I'm going to select and then come down to the board right here, this wonderful board, and select again, come up even past everything and close that off. And guess what I'm going to do? Select delete. How do you like that? How do you like them apples? Control D will unselect. I'm going to do the same thing down at the bottom. So I'm going to select there, come up and close it off and delete. Control D, deselect. So that's pretty good, looks pretty good. We have a little issue right here. I'm going to let it go because, you know, time constraint, but you can clean it up. But what you'll do is with that layer selected, Control J gives you another layer, and then Control T, flip flop it. We're just going to flip it horizontally, enter, and then move that baby. Oops, first you want to get the move tool. First you want to select the move tool, and then move that baby right over to the other side. Maybe add some shadow effects. That would be nice. And you can see here you're going to have to clean it up a little bit because it's not lined up correctly. No big deal. Clean it up, shadow effects. Then you would say File, and of course save your native file. And then you can also go File, Save As, and come down to the drop down and save your wood texture. It's that easy, folks.